I actually want to be a bigger part of someone's success.
Yeah.
Cool. And if you want that, and I think one of the things we're seeing now is trainers or coaches rather want to be a bigger draw or a bigger part of an athlete's success. It's like, motherfucker,
Right.
you're 7%, homie. Be the 100% of that 7%. But at the end of the day, right, a lot of athletes are good in spite of themselves, not because of themselves. And in some cases, not because of you either. So it is a little bit paradoxical on the face of it. So, and coaching is fairly thankless because guess what? If they get hurt,
You're fucked.
pack a bag, homie. Pack a bag. You might as well join the military because your family is going to be moving around a lot. But if you do 100% of that 100% and really go like above and beyond is still 7%, then you can hang your hat at night. Like there are bad things that happen to great athletes with great coaches. That's the nature of sport. And it's that stomach, that fortitude to ante up and be like, yeah, this happens. That's an ACL. Yeah, this happens. That's a shoulder labrum.
Yeah.
You do a ridiculous thing that by definition, not many other people in the world can do. And that's why you make a living out of it. But that's an occupational hazard. So that to me is when we look at the major differences. And this is more so from the eyes of a coach or a trainer, maybe looking to make that move. Because there was a bit of turbulence as I transitioned my career from training to coaching, where it's like, dude, I was a sick personal trainer. Are you joking me? Don't get hurt, lose weight. Crushing it. Like, no problem. You just sit there like a fucking wizard. The thing is for me, is there's a skill set that you can achieve, I think, relatively quickly to be a great personal trainer. And you can ride that out. And you could just tap this principle-based system that you have and create great relationships, have the same clients forever, increase your rates, make a ton of money, maybe go online, maybe train people online, and live a happy life. But the problems don't get any more complicated.
Right.
The risk doesn't go up. You sort of just are playing around in this little kid's pool, which is like some people make big splashes in that kid's pool. And they're doing, you know what? They're doing way better than me. They've slept. They have watches that I want. They drive cars that you want. And it's just like, and that's okay. And that's the thing is, I think that's okay. And so when we talk about what is the difference between training and exercise, I think there's a romanticized version of coaching that I don't think people really appreciate, or if once they experience it, they go, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. That's like, you got to love the shit if you're a coach.
Yeah. You said a lot there, and there's a couple points that I want to pull out of that. When it comes to training athletes, especially when we're talking professional athletes, these are outliers, right? If we're talking about, I don't know, 1% of college athletes go to the NFL. And I don't know what the actual percentage is. I'm just making up numbers now like you. And I'm going to use your 7%. There's going to be a bunch of those people who are like maximizing every single thing that they can to get into the league. And there's going to be very few people there that are just in every way complete outliers. And as we look at those two populations of people, it's almost like the proportions that you said of personal trainers are going to be, 30% responsible for the success of their clients that just want to exercise, versus there's going to be the 7% of the coaches, the strength coaches, that are going to be responsible for success and performance. Well, if you look at that top 1% of people that are going to try and get into the NFL, the people that have less of an innate ability, they're going to be more responsive to the things that they do in training, to rely on those, to be able to train, to get better, to increase their athletic capacity so that they have a chance at getting the contract or getting drafted, whatever it means to them to get to that next level. Versus the people that are just complete outliers, they can eat 4 bags of candy. They can do whatever the fuck they want in the gym, and they're just going to be a complete outlier. Like a sport, and I don't follow boxing very much, but boxing is a sport that I think it blows out these proportions, like to the absolute ends. If you think of like Mike Tyson or like Floyd Mayweather, like they are it. They are the people that no matter what they did, they would have been successful in that sport. It doesn't matter if they're, skipping rope in the gym or doing P90X or whatever dumb exercise regimen they do. They are just such an outlier that they were born to succeed in that sport. But there's probably so many other boxers that maybe got a shot at the belt or got a shot at the championship or got to fight these guys that had to put in blood, sweat, tears every single day in the gym just to be able to get that shot. And when we're talking coaching, those are the people that it matters the most to. Is that, especially when we're talking in the gym, strength coaching, that's going to be the population where you can make the biggest difference, is the fringe athletes, because they're the ones that need to maximize every single variable to even have a viable chance at being able to get to that next level. And that's going to be something that, that's what separates a good strength coach from someone that got a shot because they worked with one of these outliers, right? I think that's the differentiation to be able to make there. And then the other point, branch off of something else that you said, like you being a sick personal trainer. Fuck yeah, that's dope. And I think that is a prerequisite to being a good coach in a lot of ways. Because a lot of people now that exist and call themselves coaches, they work in the online space, which there's good, bad, and whatever that comes with that. I think that to some degree you have earned the right to be a coach if you live in that space to some degree, depending on the population you work with, because you're working with people that have that level of buy-in past I just need to get in the gym, right? They're people that probably have specific goals to the point that they seek you out and they know that you're good at what you do and you can help them get to the next level, whatever that might be for them. But at the same time, being a trainer and working with people that have very mundane goals, that's going to teach you how to get buy-in. That's going to teach you communication, which I think is a huge, huge, huge part. If you ever want to be a successful trainer or coach, you need to have the interpersonal side of things in check. You're never going to get to that next level if you can't understand how to build a connection with someone and get trust and get buy-in in a very short amount of time. So whether that's selling a personal training package or whether that's like walking into a gym full of college athletes that are getting ready for the combine, like you need to be able to walk in that room and conduct yourself in a way that demands respect and makes you an authority in that space, right? And that's, I think people get intimidated around that, the higher level the athlete, but something I've noticed in working with higher level athletes is they don't know what the fuck they're doing in the gym a lot of the time, right? So if you're confident in what you're doing, be that authority. Like you have to be that authority. So I think there are a lot of things that you can take from that journey of being a trainer before you strive to be a coach. And you can take those and bolster those skills in that training atmosphere before you take the leap to the next level to people that have consequences to the decisions you're making in those sessions with them.
Yeah, it's so you have to know your craft so unbelievably well, because you made a really interesting point that they don't know anything about our domain of excellence or expertise.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, they know good coaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like Saban, Belichick. Trying to think. We had a guy from the Seahawks. Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
I saw 3 athletes in the last month that the previous coach they had, mind you, it was obviously a skills coach, was Saban, Belichick, and Carroll. This is what you're competing with now, right? So, like, that's the competition. The competition isn't, other coaches online. It's like, no, when I think of coaching now, it's like the element of communication rings to the forefront, right? And people think it's the other way around. People think PT is all about interpersonal relationships. Like, not really. No, you have their money and they don't have a lot of it and they give it to you. So they show up. You know how much fucking money these kids have? You have any idea? Do you have any, can you fathom how many, we had a kid just out of college. And I remember this is at the level 3 in, it would have been our second week because it was the Super Bowl time. So it would have been in February. Or no. Yeah, it was in February. We had a kid out of college. I'm not going to name names. And he's a tremendous athlete. He'll go in the first round. The day after the Super Bowl, the day after Jiunta
I know exactly
lost,
what you're going to say.
So the day After Jiunta lost, what'd you lose? 500 or 1,000?
On the bet you're talking about, I lost 500.
Okay, so the other bets I don't know about, you lost more money.
Yeah.
So Jay's a little bit salty, comes in, loses the Gatorade bet. Color of the Gatorade.
Fucking
Went
purple.
against, dude. Of course it was purple, dog.
Of course.
Of course. They won it last year. You think they're deviating from purple?
You know, I have a high risk tolerance.
You have a bad decision-making process.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Oh, they're the same thing. It's the same hand. You're walking around with one hand. I keep a purple Gatorade in my fridge and laugh at it every day of my life. There's one, and I just laugh at it.
I don't keep $500 in my wallet because of it.
So it's like there was a kid who, yo, X, did you watch the game last night? A Super Bowl kid talking to a fucking college athlete. Yeah, he watched the game. He goes, yeah, I bet, what did he say, 50K? Bet 50K or 25K?
I think it was 35.
$35,000. And I just literally remember watching all the L3 kids go, oh. Just like this, and mind you, hasn't played it down in the NFL yet. He's a great kid. He's an unbelievable athlete. He fucking deserves every penny of it. But it's like this idea that, and I see PTs banging on about communication. I see, and look, yeah, it's important. It's an important skill of the existence. I learned so much of what I know about communication from watching my father interact, and he learned that because he grew up around fucking fishermen on the Atlantic Ocean. So it's like, you know, I learned how to communicate in hockey locker rooms. I learned how to communicate, you know, with you talking shit about school. Like, there's a lot. So the idea that, you know, personal training, and I like that there's an emphasis on this. I like that, but it's like communication is not what rules the roost. Sales and communication are two different things. Communications is the thing that's left after you've sold them the dream, right? And it's that piece that's so huge when you deal with someone where money is not an issue. Okay, PT, what you have to do every single day is resell them that dream they signed up for the first day. Yeah, that's what you have to do. You can't do that. Your best hand as a personal trainer is gone out the door when this fucking kid's betting 35K on a football game. He doesn't give a fuck. He's losing your hourly or your annual salary in his couch cushions. What are you going to sell him now? Yeah. You can't. This is where communication matters. So, but understand when they communicate with people, it's fucking Belichick and Saban. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good luck.
And communication on that level, there's I think different parts to it that matter in different proportions depending on who you're talking to, right? Someone of that level that's working with the Belichicks, it's what you say is part of it, how you conduct yourself is part of it, but what you can make them experience, I think, is the most important part of it. That's the biggest proportion. And experience means a lot of things, but I think in the gym it means what you can make them feel, right? If you can confidently say what they're going to feel, how they're going to feel it, and how it's going to help them, and you can make them make that connection in their own brain, then that's the level of communication that you need to have to get buy-in with people. That buy-in is past money. Buy-in is winning the Super Bowl, right? Is you need to be pinpoint accurate with the things that you say and how they're going to interact with this person's goals.
Yeah, and I love that the buy-in thing is, you know, it is so often taught early in our careers when sales is the orientation towards sales is really a big part of it. Buy-in at the higher levels is not. It's not a price objection. It's a value objection. Yeah. Right, and that's what you have to bring to the table. You have to provide a ton of value, and I think these are frame shifts you have to make as you attempt to go from a personal trainer to a coach. Right, it's not, you know, how do I manipulate my price? And you know, I've had this conversation with like 3 brands in the last week about the idea of a value objection. Right, so I'm consulting with a few gym startups around the world, and I'm just like, well, we have this tier of membership and we're this level of boutique, whatever. But for a launch, I think we should discount it. You're going to what? You're going to discount it. You know who's been waiting for a discount on a high-end product? My guy Jiunta here has been waiting for a 2-for-1 Porsche sale so he can buy me one, and we can get the old 2 for